All right. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear me out there. My apologies if I was a little late. Forgive me. I had fatherly duties I had to take care of. So let me go ahead and put the link up so people on the social media can know that we are now live on YouTube. And again, thank you for everybody for joining and tuning in. All right, please join me on YouTube right now. The link is in the bio. Just swipe up. All right, join me on YouTube. The link is in the bio. Swipe up. All right, so we're gonna get this thing popping. We definitely gonna get it popping tonight. We're gonna talk about manhood and what it means to be a man and how to defend black manhood. All right. So the call-in number is 305. Let me put the call-in number. Let me put the call-in number in there in case people want to call up. Hit me on the call-in number. You got any questions? Okay, 1 second. Forgive me, family, because I'm new to all this, so I'm trying to work this, you know, as we go along. I'm trying to make everything accessible, everything free. Um, you know, so forgive me. Things might be a little janky, but we getting there. We getting there. We gonna get there. We gonna get a good live show going. So the topic tonight, for those who's coming in the room, is black manhood. Now, obviously, that's just a topic that we're throwing out there because the video that's been circulating about the young female being punched by this white supremacist, I just posted on my page. Matter of fact, so we're gonna talk about black manhood because apparently that seems to be something that we. Can y'all hear me out there? Can y'all hear me? What's going on here? I want to make sure my mic ain't janky. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Am I coming in loud and clear? You know what's up with the microphone. All right. Am I Chris? Fresh pair of Air Forces? Okay, I want to make sure I'm super Chris. All right. So first and foremost, I'm just gonna put the statement out there again. The phone number is 305-928-6583 for any of those who want to call in and discuss this topic. But I just want to say this right quick. In dealing with the definition of manhood, manhood varies from culture to culture. A lot of people may not understand that. Manhood varies to culture. There are some Asian groups, right, who would die, before they will become victims of war. There was in World War II, there was something called the suicide bombers who would literally take their planes and fly them into United States ships. This was done during World War II. You get what I'm saying? Because they were protecting their interests as Japanese people. They were protecting their manhood by risking their lives. Oh, for those who come in the room, apparently, I think you got to hit the like to get more people to know that we live right now. So for those coming in the room, hit the like button and also share this, copy the link if you can do all that. Listen, family, forgive me because I'm new to this. So I'm an amateur. So I'm going to make mistakes on the whole, YouTube live thing, but forgive me. So during World War II, you had Japanese men who were literally committing suicide to protect their best interests. In most African cultures, you have what is called the rites of passage. Now, these rites of passage may just be rituals now, like they're not literally practiced anymore because of colonialism and whatever the case may be. So they just might be forms of ritual. But manhood varies from culture to culture and how we define manhood and what we're willing to do for manhood. In our culture as African men, being victims of slavery, being victims of colonialism, we have developed a form of cowardice manhood. Now, some people might get upset and say, what do you mean we developed a form of cowardice? We are not our ancestors in both degrees. Let me say that. Because on one hand, we had warrior ancestors and then we had collaborators. We still have collaborators. But I can tell you that a lot of black men are not willing to die for this revolution. They'll die for some other stuff. They'll die for the block. They'll die for the drugs. They'll die for whatever else is deemed important in this Eurocentric society. But a lot of them aren't willing to die to overthrow this Eurocentric society or even the mindset of this Eurocentric society. Now, I'm not trying to be discouraging. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm being real. I'm being as real as possible. When I look around and I see the way not only our women are treated, but our children are treated. This white supremacist punched a 11-year-old girl in the mouth. Now, I'm not sure if any men were around because it's a 20-second video. And I'm not sure if any black men were around in that facility, or even if she was there with another black man. But me, as an African alpha male, I consider myself to be African alpha male. If I see or hear a 12-year-old girl got punched at the mall and I'm somewhere in the vicinity, I mean, how else do you want somebody to respond to that? Especially got punched in the face by a white supremacist. I would want every African man out there to protect my daughter if I'm no longer on this earth. I'm just being real. I would want every African man out there to protect my daughter as if that was their daughter. So I feel that it's only right that I would do the same. If I'm out and I hear, oh, this girl, young girl outside the mall got punched in the mouth by white dude or black dude. I mean, I'm running out there with my shoes strapped up. What's up? And I might get beat up. I might get lumped up because I'm a realist. I might get lumped up. I might get beat up. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. But that just ain't the point. The point is defending by any means necessary your people. By any means necessary. The young brother in Florida, I forgot what part of Florida it was, where the white supremacist was harassing his wife because she parked in an ADA spot, or as we call it, a handicap spot. And the white supremacist pulled out a gun and shot him. We need to make a mural for him. Yes, he died. He transcended, but he died protecting a black woman. Now, some of you say, man, that nigga dead though. What that mean? That means that we need to step our game up. Because instead of coming and pushing him, he should have met him with a different type of force for harassing his family. In order for black men, I could tell you this. I could tell you this. When white men believe wholeheartedly in something, believe it or not, they will fucking die for it. Look at all the wars that these motherfuckers, they believe wholeheartedly in racism, white supremacy. And look how they go out to protect racism, white supremacy. When Arabs believe wholeheartedly in something, they will strap a bomb to their goddamn back and go blow some shit up. When are the African men globally gonna believe thoroughly in something that is in our best interest, that we're willing to die for it? When are black men going to believe so thoroughly in something when they're willing to risk their life, their freedom? And I'm not talking about no material shit, because that's going to come and go. I'm talking about something that's not tangible, something that we can't get in a store, something that someone can't give to us nor take away from us. Because a lot of us like to believe that if we march and beg for rights, then white people are going to give us rights, or they're going to give us respect. But if we demand that and we're willing to die for it, then you can't give that nor take that away from me. Because I'm willing to lose everything behind this. And I'm not talking about no stupid, blocks and drugs. I'm talking about real empowerment, real freedom. When are we going to feel so adamant about something that we're willing to die for it? I want to know. I want to know. The Arabs will do it. The Asians will do it. The cracker will do it. Why aren't we? And when we do feel so adamant about something, it's the wrong shit. It's the wrong thing that we're willing to die for. Nothing righteous, nothing uplifting, nothing that's going to empower us as a group. It's some bullshit. So I'm saying, and I'm going to get on the women in a second. We're going to talk about the women. We definitely going to talk about the women because Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Hold on, what the hell happened here? Okay, forgive me, family. Hold on. Let me know the family know. Let me let the family know we live again. I'm sorry. Forgive me, family. What am I doing? Shh. Hold on. I thought I just uploaded this. We are live right now on YouTube. Swipe up to follow. Swipe up to come to the YouTube page. We live right now. We live on YouTube. Swipe up. I just uploaded this. Forgive me, family. And as I was saying, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, I think somebody be flagging my page on purpose, man. Why is it saying video save? Dr. Francis Cress Welsing talked about this. She said that Black women are so scared to lose their sons that they actually make their sons cowards. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing talked about that. She said that Black women are so scared of losing their sons in the system of racism and white supremacy that they innately make their sons cowards. I'll give you a prime example. If you remember the whole uprising that took place in Baltimore, there was a mother that came out there and she was beating her son because her son had a hoodie over his face. He was doing stuff, but she recognized him. And so she ran out there and said, "What are you doing?" Beating him, spanking him, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. She was hailed a hero. Oh, Black mom do what she's supposed to do. They boosted her up. Single parent home. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That same year, a lot of people didn't notice that Adrian Peterson came under scrutiny for spanking his son. His son was having disciplinary issues. And Adrian Peterson, a Black man, football player, disciplined his son. Now look at the narrative. Look at the narrative. Black mom goes out there, disciplines her son for standing up to racism, white supremacy, for taking, let's say, a stance for Freddie Gray, and giving the system a middle finger. Right? She's held a hero. Adrian Peterson's son getting in trouble in school, having little issues. He spanks him. He damn near couldn't even play football anymore. They almost kicked him out the league for that shit. Talking about charges and he's facing some time and just all type of crazy stuff for the Adrian Peterson situation. But the Black mother, who essentially demasculated her son and took all the fight out of him, was held a hero. By white media, of course, because white media does not want that resurgence of African Black manhood. The type of manhood where Marcus Garvey in the 1920 get on a radio station and says, the reporter says to him, "Do you know you could be lynched for those statements?" And Marcus Garvey says, didn't even blink, didn't even flinch. Marcus Garvey says, "We have 3 million trees from here to Africa. Let the lynching party begin. We ready for war." Marcus Garvey said, for any UNIA member that's lynched, we will lynch 2 white men. It's a fact. Marcus Garvey said that. For any UNIA member that's lynched, we will lynch 2 white men. And guess what? There ain't no record of any UNIA member ever being lynched. And that was the group that put 15 million Africans together worldwide. When are we going to get back to the brother Malcolms? When are we going to get that spirit and that energy? When are we going to get back to the Khalid Muhammads? When are we going to get back to that? I need that energy. I constantly get people asking me, brother, you're not scared to put your face out there? Brother, you're not scared. Yo, you can get the same work cooning. They could come get you if you cooning. Why would I be scared? You already in, it's like saying you in jail, but you scared to go to solitary confinement. We already in a system of racism and white supremacy. What I gotta be scared about? What they gonna do to me? What you only live, yo, I don't understand it. I be watching people on IG, they be flying to Turkey, Istanbul, and God bless the brother just passed, who made a trip to Africa, and he ended up catching malaria. But that's some of the things we do. We get a little money, we travel, we go on places, whatever. You never think that, man, that plane could go down, or that ship could sink, or this and that. So y'all fearless for everything else. Everything else, y'all fearless. But when it comes to speaking up against racism and white supremacy, now y'all shitting in y'all boots. Now y'all don't know how to talk straight. How many times you think these white people can kill you? How many times you think you could die? We can only die once. I be watching y'all bungee jump, swim with sharks. Y'all be doing all type of white people stuff. But when it comes to speaking out against racism, oh boy, you don't know how to do that. You ain't with it. Why? Why? If you truly believe in the Constitution, you truly believe that America is founded on the principles of everybody should be, equal, then you definitely should believe that you have the right to speak your mind. And again, the phone number for just those who just come in the room, I feel like a DJ. Those who just come in the room, the phone number if you want to call up is 305-928-6583. If anybody wants to call up and build on this conversation. Forgive me because I'm trying to work the switchboards. Oh, and for those who just coming in the room, please hit the like button. Apparently that does something. I don't know what it does, but it does something if you hit the like button. Maybe more people will see it. I'm not sure, but definitely hit the like button. So now let's move to the women, right? Let's move to the women and how women, to some degree, even when black men are present. Let me be real. This is a fact. Even when black men are present, when black men are in the household, black women have a way of babying their sons. Being real. Black women have a way of babying their sons. Even, matter of fact, the movie Baby Boy talks all about it. If you watch that movie carefully, you would watch how the mother enabled Jody. The stepfather put some work on him, telling him, yo, I've been through this. I lived through this. This ain't what you want. Blah, 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 blah. It was the mother that kept on getting in the middle. And Dr. Francis Cress Welsing talked about that. And that's why the ISIS papers, right, inspired the movie Baby Boy. You get what I'm saying? It was the mother that was causing a lot of that, no, he's my baby. Because what they don't show in the movie a lot is the fact that Jody's older brother was killed in the streets. They only mentioned that like 2 or 3 times. And Jody was like, so you gonna kick me out, mama? So I could die in the streets like, such and such and such. You know what I'm saying? So she had a fear of losing Jody, which was Tyrese in the movie, because she lost her other son to the streets. And so I think a lot of times, even when the father is in the home, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen the father try to chastise the son, like, yo, be a man. And then the son will go running to the mama and go crying. And then black men, we do the same thing with our daughters. Let's keep it funky. We not going to, just throw shade and not keep it funky. Black men, we be spoiling our daughters. And I'm not saying go gorilla ape shit and beat the hell out of these kids. I'm saying these kids need to know what discipline is. They need to know discipline is to do what you have to do even when you don't want to do it. That's discipline. They need to know that in this system of racism, white supremacy, there are no second chances. There aren't, especially for young black boys. There are no second chances. So it is imperative that, hold on, forgive me, family. I'm doing all type of shenanigans over here on this switchboard. I don't even know what I'm doing no more. So it's imperative that we teach these things to our children. You know, the parents of Tamir Rice, that shit breaks my heart because they didn't have an honest conversation with him and sit him down and tell him, son, you can't be in the park playing with guns like little white boys do. You can't play cops and robbers like little white boys do. You have to be vigilant at all times. And I know you don't want that burden on your child. I know you want your child to be free and but that freedom can cost your child their life in any way, shape, or form. If you really want to protect your child, you educate your child on what's really going on. Because we could change our predicament in one generation. That's a fact. We can change our predicament as Africans in one generation by proper educating the children on what is taking place in this system of racism, white supremacy, and reorganizing our economics. But that comes with discipline. That 100% comes with discipline. We have to be disciplined as well. So black mothers got to take some responsibility for the fact that they are constantly spoiling the boys. Black men have to be able to teach. I've said this before, and it's crazy that I would say this, but some people may take this out of context, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Sometime it's best that black men not be in the household because a lot of black men aren't black men. A lot of men can create more confusion within the household. A lot of women can create confusion within the household. I've seen children grow up with one parent. Now, I'm not promoting this and I'm not advocating this because, again, we need two parents. We need two healthy-minded African parents. Let me just say that, just to cut all the shenanigans out so there won't be no misconceptions of what I'm trying to say. We need two African healthy-minded parents in the household. But this is what we need. Two African-minded African parents in the household. If not, it can be detrimental. It can be a problem. It can be a real problem. And also, we need African-minded parents who are on the same wavelength. Because you would never see a pastor dating atheists. It's just not going to work. So date inside your realm. Please date inside your realm and raise these African-minded children. Okay, again, the number is 305-928-6583. Let me put the number in the chat again for those who want to call up. Thank you, everybody who actually tuned in. Trying to get this right and going. This is my second live. I think I'm doing pretty well. I think I'm doing pretty good. Hooray. For those who just come in the room, hit the like button. Again, the topic tonight is Black manhood, how we need to create it, and where we at in manhood. If you have any other topics, go ahead. I haven't really been reading the comments because I'm trying to stay focused. But if you have any other topics, any other suggestions, call up. We here. The phone number is in the chat. So call up. All right, we have a caller. Hello.
Hello, is this Brother Hassan?
This is Brother Hassan. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, you're speaking with Diamond.
Okay, how you doing, Diamond?
Are you doing the live?
I am. I'm on live right now. Can y'all hear her, family?
Yeah, I'm looking at your live, but it's like it seems like the phone call and then the live, they're not in sync. One is behind the other for some reason.
Okay, probably a little lag going on. So what's on your mind,
Yeah, there's
Diamond?
a lag. Yeah, I just wanna weigh in on what you were saying. I just wanted to add on to what you were saying about the way about the single parent household, especially you made it a point to say that both parents should be in the household, both mentally stable African parents should be in every household to raise children, and I definitely agree with that. And I think that the media, especially the mainstream media, but the Hollywood pop culture, it has taken the idea of the single mother, this image of the black woman who takes care of her children. Of course, white women are also involved in that single mother image. But when we think about single mothers, it's usually a stereotype associated with the black community.
Right.
And Hollywood has taken that and propped it, to make it seem like framing single mothers as super women. When the truth is that is not something that is beneficial to any community. And I think that's one fact that keeps getting overlooked, and is not taken as seriously when we talk about the way Hollywood or the mainstream media portrays single mothers. We definitely need two parents in the household, and that's, I think, one of the biggest reasons Black people grow up the way that they do, and grow up to be unstable or very unruly adults. And I think it's because of that broken home system that we have going on.
Right. And even when we do have two parents in the home, there has to be a level of balance. Like I think the women have to let the men do their job as a man. I think for me personally, the woman lays the rules of the household and the man enforces them. And a lot of times when the rules are broken, women, especially Black women, being the nurturers they are, will turn a blind eye depending on what rule was broken. And I think that impedes on the Black man being, the enforcer of the family. Did you watch the movie?
I think that's true.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, part of the problem with also having a pro-Black stance that not just, because the pro-Black stance questions everything that the Eurocentric system has taught us,
right,
including religious institutions.
Right.
And the problem with the pro-Black stance, the problem with the pro-Black stance is that it doesn't create rules for how men and women should interact, if that makes sense, compared to religious institutions. Like in Christianity or Islam, the books outline how the women and the men should interact with each other. So if we're challenging those religious institutions, I mean, I don't know how you address that, but there aren't any guidelines, I think, unless we can come up with guidelines within our generation, right, to kind of overshadow or replace those religious guidelines, because we're trying to get away from those religious institutions that tend to be non-African, right?
Well, there have been people who wrote books within our community on how to get along. Like you got Shahrazad Ali. She wrote The Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Woman and The Black Woman's Guide to
But that book also, but you know how the Black woman treated that book, right?
Right.
I mean, because she included some things in there that rubbed Black women the wrong way.
Right.
So maybe the intention was fine, but the execution is what turned Black women off. If that makes sense. So I just think that even that needs to be, somehow we need to figure out a way to provide guidelines. I understand what you're saying, but Shahrazad Ali, I feel like, is a very controversial example.
She is, but here's the thing about it: she's very extreme. But the reality is, we're in a very extreme situation, and we have to come to that realization. So I think a lot of people who took issue with her, some of the guidelines that she put in the book, they still think that we have time to play. They still think that we have 100 years to waste. And so I guess that book was for more people who's like me, who understand that, yo, we are in a dire situation. So if you're like first coming to consciousness, you probably wouldn't want to read that book because your Eurocentric mind would be triggered and be like, what? She said, what? Black women are what? And we should do what? Right. So I don't think that book is for everybody. But I do agree with you 100% that as Africans, we should be at this generation should be shaping out what we define manhood, how we define love, how we define community, because essentially we are affected by that. So I agree with you 100%.
And all I'm also saying, I would like to expand on that. What I'm also saying is that too many conversations about the problem, not enough conversations about solutions. Step by step, let's start outlining guidelines. Okay, this is what men do. This is what women do. If Shahrazad Ali laid the foundation, let's expand on that. Let's build on top of that. And if we notice that certain Black women were turned off from the initial message of Shahrazad Ali, then we can figure out little adjustments to that. Because in her book, she mentions things like a Black man, if a Black woman is talking too much, if she's getting aggressive and loud, a Black man has the right to hit her. So if you watch
let's be clear for those who haven't read the book, because some people might take that as a snippet. She outlined several things in the book. She said you have 5 options. She labeled them options. She said you can leave the house and go cheat, right? You can ignore her. You can try to take away a punishment or do something like that to some effect. But I believe the last one was, and I have the book, the last one was to slap her. And I'm not agreeing with that. I'm not agreeing that any woman should be physically, assaulted within our community, because that is what it is. But then here's the opposite question, Ashley. Why is it that women think that they can get up in a man's face where a man will have to defend themselves against that onslaught?
Right. No, absolutely. You're right. And that's why I think that it's going to be a battle. I think it's not even as hard to reach Black men as it is to reach Black women.
Ooh, say it again.
To be honest,
say it again, because they ain't going to like that. Say it again.
It would be easier to reach Black men than it would be to reach Black women. Because I think we've been tools. We've been used as instruments.
Ashley said it, y'all. I didn't say it. Ashley said it.
Yeah, I just think that Hollywood uses us, the pop culture uses us, and we have our own female celebrities who are representing this skewed image of Black women, this skewed perception of Black culture. They're the ones who are feeding these destructive messages to us. And then you have feminism. I wanted to add all 3 of them together because I think we are being used on so many different fronts. But I think with Black men, the message is pretty simple. Let's build, and it's not really hard to reach them because Black men are already. I don't think they're used as instruments in as many things. But definitely Black women have been propped up as super women for being single mothers. So it's really hard to help Black women unlearn that super woman, independent woman type of image.
Well,
to convince them that they need like a man, that they need to be with other people, with another partner within the household to have a stable home. It's going to be difficult to convince them, and I'm one. So
I've said this before. The reason why it's so difficult is that in this culture, in this white supremacist culture, the Black man has truly never had a full power situation with his woman. Now let me explain that, because I may have worded it wrong. The Black man has never had full control over his woman. Not during slavery, not after slavery. You had situations where white men could come kick in your door and sleep with your woman. We would get lynched if we would try to defend a Black woman, right? And rightfully so. We should die for our women. So there has never been a time in history when we were getting it together in the 60s, like you said earlier, the feminist movement came in and Black women left us again. And it's been downhill ever since then. Truth be told, black women walked away from what we had going on and went and joined the white woman. So it's hard to get control of the American African black woman because she's never been under control of the black man. The black man's never had her under his wing in this society.
Right. Right. Absolutely true. And it's a matter of really just teaching people that, just helping people understand everything you just said.
Right.
Moving forward, because I think that we can talk about the issues until we're blue in the face. We can talk about what Francis Cress Western said, what Garvey said, and what Du Bois said, and whoever else. We can bring all this into. If we're not creating our own guidelines, it's almost like we're just stuck in the past,
right,
or stuck in complaints mode. And there's nothing wrong with discussing the problem. I just think that moving forward, I see new people coming out with books. Amos Wilson, but also what's his name, Boyce Watkins came up with, how to use capitalism to your benefit as a black person in America. Things like that, ideas like that we can put out that really, that show that we're focusing on molding the future as well.
Right.
And I just look forward to new books like that. So maybe you might, publish something in the future. I'll be looking forward to it, because I just know it's only solutions from here on out. So right. I'm really proud of everything you do.
Thank you.
And I'm thankful that you have such a platform and that you exist, and that you're an additional voice to the movement. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Where are you calling from, Ashley, by the way?
I'm calling from Georgia. I'm Liberian, by the way. Follow me on Instagram. Is African Traffic.
Liberian. Got you. Respect.
Thank you.
You want to get your Instagram out?
I said African_tresses.
Okay. Got you. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you for the call, sister.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Beautiful Liberian sister. Y'all be saying the continental Africans don't mess with us, man. Beautiful African sister, man. Liberia in the building. That's the only red, white, and blue flag I'll salute. The Liberian flag. It's the only red, white, and blue flag I'll salute. But with that being said, family, they don't. Glen Bay, you say they don't, or Bye, you say they don't mess with us? I don't know, brother. I get a lot of love from our continental brothers and sisters throughout the diaspora, on the continent, everywhere, man. For me, it depends on your individual characteristics. Like when I talk to people, hold on, family, we have another call coming in. Oh, well, I guess the caller hung up. All right, here we go. Hello? Hello? Yes?
Hi.
How are you?
I am doing great. How
are you? You might want to turn the. Might want to tell the echo down in the back.
Turn this thing off.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was hearing myself.
Okay.
Thank you. I want to join in when your caller was Ashley. Ashley. I just want to join in with her just to tell you thanks for what you do. I can see that you are so passionate about what you do, and I'm so grateful for it.
Thank you.
I heard Ashley earlier. She said something that I wanted to speak about. She said, she feels as if African women has to unlearn the superwoman behavior.
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned that, and I'm just thinking that yes, that is so true. But there are so many things that we have to do in order for us to unlearn those behavior. Like I think it's innately us as African women or Black women. It's innately us to be like somewhat submissive to our men. But again, as you mentioned, I think when you were talking to her, you mentioned that you mentioned what did you mention? I don't remember what you mentioned, but if it is that we have the men who step up to the plate, sometimes it's easier. As I said, it's innately us to be somewhat submissive, but we have to be superwoman, not by choice. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's that's a hard thing to unlearn, especially in the vacancy of our men, which is not solely our fault. But I know, like personally for me, I can be submissive if I have reasons to be. But if not, I just have to be the superwoman in order to carry through.
Now, what would consist of reasons of you being submissive? Would it be? And I'm just asking. I'm not assuming. I'm asking. What would be some reasons that will incline you to be more submissive to a man?
I am more submissive if I feel like I have a man, meaning, and when I say a man, someone who has initiative, someone
Okay.
whose presence can be felt. Like I feel like you're a leader of the household. Um, a man who is not threatened, like by what I do, my goals. I can be submissive to that if that is present. If I feel like the masculine presence is there, I I just become innately submissive. I mean, I review my position to, somewhat be submissive and to allow that man to be a man. But sometimes if it's not there, then I just have to lead in order to get things done.
Now, I hint an accent in your dialect. So, are you from the Caribbean?
Yes, I spoke to you. I was on your live a couple times,
Oh,
maybe twice or so. Yes,
my
I'm
beautiful
Jamaican.
sister, finding medicine.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm gonna
yes,
say your old name because I know you changed it. I know you changed your name.
yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
so I know who I'm talking to, but your accent. So this is Jamaican sister, by the way. For those who don't know, this is from Jamaica and everything. So
yes.
when you submit to a man, it's not based off of his form of success, right? As in
No,
financial.
no, not absolutely not.
Okay.
It's more so just having like feeling the presence of a man,
Okay.
regardless of financial status. And there was one other thing that I wanted to mention. Oh, yes. I wanted to share like a little experience I have with my aunt, who was, well, she still is a single mom. Her sons, though, however, are grown. They're adults now. But I feel as if, as a single mom, she has done an exceptional job in raising her two boys. I mean, they are good people. She did so well, and most of the time she had to be a super woman, as they would call it, because she raised boys single handedly. And recently, she was telling me, like she feels as if she really didn't do a good job. And all these years, I've been admiring her how she raised her boys. And then she said to me, Kay, like she said, I feel as if uh, my boys are always trying to show me that they are men, and they go out of the way just to prove to me that they are men. And she said that she feels like, in spite of everything that she had done well, there was just one thing that she could not do for them, and that was to teach them how to be men. She tried, but she says she feels as if um, even though it's like it's just not her place to do it,
Right.
really, as a woman. So again, back to what you were saying earlier about, we do need both parents in the household. And I know that it's somewhat it's far-fetched currently, because it's not happening. But I was thinking, what could be a solution in like the near future? And I'm thinking that, if we could go back to community involvement, like back to how we used to have a community, partake in the raising of our children. Like if the father is not in the household, like other men could, come in without having to be in a relationship with the women, but just, join in as a community in, raising boys and girls alike. You know what I mean?
Yes.
In the whole household right now, if everybody could partake in raising men and women in the Black community.
Right. Getting back to the old, we are a village situation. Because even if, let's say, for example, even if the father passes away, right, the uncles should step up. The uncles should now become that child's, primary guardian. It shouldn't be that attitude. Well, that's his household. We should definitely get back to that 100%. So, with staying on topic, I want to ask you a question. Since you're a beautiful, intelligent, young woman, what are some ways that Black women can encourage Black men to be or to have more of a warrior spirit? Because a lot of Black men feel like this. This is one thing I used to hear, and I used to hear this a lot. Man, if you go to jail or if you die, she gonna be messing with somebody else before the funeral even happens, right? So I think to some degree, this is just what I think, right? I don't have any stats or facts to back it up. I think to some degree, Black men feel like Black women don't have their back. And I'm just saying from what I view, that they feel like Black women don't have their back, which I can have my own different opinion on that, but I'm just giving a perspective of that. We have static, family?
If I have, yes, I do understand. But I don't know how much, like, what percentage of Black men feels that way, because that's not what I'm seeing. What I am seeing is the complete opposite. I feel like Black men don't have our back everywhere, not just in the Americas. I just feel like it's everywhere where the men just don't have the women back. So I don't know what fraction or what amount of people have that perception.
Right.
As for the warrior spirit, how to encourage men to have the warrior spirit, I don't know either if that's something that should be encouraged. I just feel like that's something that you should have, like, naturally. And again, like, what women could perhaps do, because I feel like it's there. If Black men just gain their minds back, they become warriors. I just feel like we are like that innately. It's just somewhat clouded by Eurocentrism, if there's such a word. But I feel like it's there somewhat.
Right.
In Black men to be warriors. And I know that it can, the warrior spirit can be occluded not just by white supremacy and all that, but also by us women becoming so what do you call it? We're so, like, the superwoman behavior. The superwoman behavior can somewhat cloud the warrior spirit in the men.
Right.
So I just feel like sometimes if we can step back, not to say that men are fragile, but I feel like somewhat men are ego driven by nature. I feel like out. But I feel like if we do allow the men to know that, you know, you are the leader of the home, even though most of the time, you know, we are really women are, but you know, allow the men to feel as if they serve a purpose, especially for like educated women. I know that that's a challenge.
Yes.
Because you know we're so clouded and misguided by, you know, educational accolades. We feel as if, oh, you know, you have a PhD or a boss, and we, you know, allow men to feel small because of, you know, educational achievement, especially if we both don't share the same level of education as we think, you know. So I feel like some of those things add to men not showcasing their warrior spirit.
Well, thank you, sister. I truly appreciate that. I truly appreciate that. You dropped some real bombs right now. You dropped some real bombs. I truly appreciate you calling in. I'm gonna try to figure out a static situation because I hear people saying it's static in the chat, and I want to keep it clear. Thank you for calling in, sister. Okay.
Thank you for what you do. Thank you.
No, thank you for appreciating it. All right. That sister always dropping the jewels. So let me know if y'all hear the static. How bad is the static? Let me know. Okay. All right. Let me know. All right. Hold on. That ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Is the mic cord y'all saying? Has it been static in all this time? Hello? 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 All right, somebody's calling to play on the phone. Is it still staticking? All right, I'm fine now. Cool. Do we have any more callers before we get up out of here? I don't know what it is, man. Maybe I, work on some stuff behind the scenes, but it definitely might be the cord. Actually, it can't be the cord. I think it might be the laptop port that I got to plug to. I'm not sure. I'll figure something out off the scenes because this is the same microphone that I use when I do my interviews on the street. So I don't know. It's better now. Thank you. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody that came in, tuned in. Appreciate everybody that called. Any last callers before we get up out of here? The number is 305-928-6583. Sound like a goddamn DJ. It's hilarious. And the purpose of this is also to create awareness because we all have different opinions about our situation. We all have different realities. We've all faced different things within our lives. You have Africans who have been touched in their lifetime. You have Africans who never had a mother and father. One of the biggest things I always tell Black women is imagine trying to build a house with no blueprint. Imagine trying to build a house with no blueprint. That's what Black men are trying to do daily that grew up without a father. They're trying to build themselves into be a man. They never had an example. You know how hard it will be to build a house with no blueprint? With no other existing house to say, this is where the plumbing goes, this is where electricity goes, this is where that goes, this is what, how many times these homes failed, didn't pass inspection properly. So it is almost damn near impossible. Not saying it can't be done. It is damn near impossible to not have a father, right? And come out to be some awesome, great man. It happens though, because sometimes men have uncles who play the father figure. Sometimes, even within our community, I see a lot of times we mimic other men. And it might not be the best men. Sometimes it might be the horrible men, but we mimic other men. So what I'm trying to say is we need that blueprint. This is what manhood is. This is what Black manhood is. This is how we're going to define Black manhood. And if you're not doing that, then essentially you got to go. That's what our ancestors did when they had the rites of passage. They said, if you don't pass these rites of passage, if you don't go wrestle this alligator, if you don't go wrestle this, whatever the hell they would wrestle or do whatever they would do, or make this spear and be able to hunt then you have to leave the village because you are not what a man needs to be. And that's what culture is. Culture is being able to sustain and build your community up. Cultivate, right? Cultivate. You're cultivating your community. And so if we don't build our own culture up and define what is black manhood, then we're constantly going to have our little girls and black femalehood too. We're constantly going to have our little girls being pushed around, being disrespected, pulled out their school by white police officers, beat up at pool parties by white police officers, pushed in the mall by just regular old white men. Men should fear consequences, man. Other men should fear the consequence of touching a black woman. And I don't mean an erratic black woman. Black women have to also know when to remain a lady. I'm saying they should have a fear of beating up a black woman in a nail salon. They should know that it's gonna be some repercussions. And I don't mean no protesting either. I can tell you this, and I'll say this on live, I'll say this anywhere. If anything was to ever happen to one of my children, I'm gonna go to my bank, I'm gonna get $500 on my bank account, I'm gonna pay a private investigator, I'm gonna find out, no matter who it is, I'm gonna find out who did whatever they did to my child, I'm gonna bury my child, and then I'm gonna kill them. And you can put that all on live. You can do whatever you want to do. You can travel how you want to do it. That's what a man's supposed to do. Period. Got it all coming in, family. All right, who's this?
Family, how you doing?
Wah! If it isn't my sister. How you doing, sis? How you doing?
I can't complain at all. I just wanted to come in and just piggyback on what you said about black women with raising their sons and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I also mentioned it in the comments. One thing you have to understand is that once you have a child, that child is no longer only yours.
Right.
And when I say that, I mean that the child becomes the community's child.
Right.
So once we grasp this concept, then we will have no single parent home. You understand what I'm saying? Because everybody don't have brothers to be an uncle to their children. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody don't have uncles. I mean, blood relatives to stand in the gap, to be there. So it's important that the men within the community then steps up and says, hey, I understand that, there's no man here. So now we could come in and we could step up. But also, too, ladies, we must determine who we choose to allow us to, allow them to get us pregnant. Like, nobody slips and falls on the penis and gets pregnant.
Hey, don't get me shut down, T. T, don't get me shut down. You're going to get me shut down already. Listen, you're going to have them flagging.
I'm sorry, but it's true. It's important that, the accountability is on both sides of the spectrum, because, it may be fucked up that the father has now decided to give up and abandon his family. Now that the woman has to bear all these roles on her own, has she made better choices, then she wouldn't have to. Now, I know with some people that be like, oh, well, that shouldn't be like that. Let me tell you something. A man that ain't nothing, he's going to show you. If you're paying attention. Now, if you're naive and just easy to manipulate, then you have a little bit of healing to do. But I think that it's important that, women start being held responsible for creating these single-parent homes. You understand what I'm saying? Because we have to be more sure about who we want to have a family with and who we allow to enter into our bedroom. Once we start doing that, then we can cancel out the whole single-parent home and things like that. You mentioned how black women spoil their children, spoil their boys, rather, and they're making them weak. I don't think that you use the lady who boxed up the son
and be more, yeah.
Rally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so in speaking of that, as Black people, we need to get away from whooping our children, because that is something that's been passed on to us through slavery. That is something, and you mentioned this in one of your lives, how we take on the actions of our oppressors, and we do it to ourselves, we do it within our community.
Right.
Whooping your children, physical abuse is not good. I repeat, I know a lot of Black people, well, my mama whooped me, look at how I turned out. Yeah, she turned out fucked up. She turned out fucked up. You may not see it. It shows in how you treat your children. That's how you know you fucked up. If you turning around whooping your kids because your mom whooped you, we can see. It's obvious. Thank you for calling it out.
So,
that we don't whoop our children.
Okay.
We have to give some alternative disciplinary actions on how to deal with our children. If the child is acting out, whether for whatever reason, whatever triggers that type of behavior, we must learn how to address it without being physical. Because I think that a lot of times we're physical with our children out of frustration.
Right.
You know what I mean? If we think
that
that's going to teach them a lesson, when in
true.
reality, that's far from the truth.
This is
but
true.
I don't think that Black women are afraid of losing their sons. I think it's more so of they don't want to expose them to a lot of different things. And I think that's even with our girls. We kind of like we beat around the bush with a lot of things, and we're just not, in general, we're not real with our children. We want to be real with our kids when they become young adults, and by that time it's a little bit too late because their reality has already been shaped and molded, and what they think to them is set in stone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that it's not about Black women being afraid of losing their sons. I think that we're not honest enough with our children and exposing them to the real world. We wanna have our kids in La La Land, thinking that it's all love, when in reality that's the furthest from the truth.
Yeah. Facts.
So that's what I wanted to say in reference to those two topics.
Okay, I got a question. I got a question for you. Okay, I got a question for you. Somebody asked her how to go more. Somebody said, ask her to go more in details on how to find a man who will actually stay. She says women need to make better choices on men they pick. So how can you discern whether a man is actually genuinely liking you? How can you tell, if he's gonna be a piece of shit? Maybe can you give some warning signs to Black women out there?
Absolutely. You can tell in his actions and the way that he talks to you, and the way that he handles you, and the way that he goes about spending time with you. You can tell on a lot of different spectrums. Well, first of all, you should not be just laying down with a man 2-3 months after you met him. That's not enough time to truly get to know that person. And I think that a lot of people want to experience sex before they experience intimacy.
Well, see, that's the problem. A lot of people mistake.
That's a huge problem.
Right. A lot of people mistake intimacy for sex. Right.
I agree that it's a huge problem. But as women, we have to learn to take out the time and make sure that we are fully focusing on this person's characteristics. And the only way you could really get to know a person and know if they not about shit is if you talk. Women don't talk to men. We ask stupid ass questions like, oh, well, men do it too. Oh, well, how many people you dated? How many people you had sex with? Nobody is asking personality questions. No one's asking moral questions. No one's asking ethical questions. Find out what character he has. And the only way you're going to get that is, number one, is through communication.
Right.
And two, with their actions. So for the women out there who wanted to know, it starts with one, communicating. If he can't articulate who he is to you, that is a concern. If you ask him a legitimate question about African structure family, like how would he want to raise his children? What is his ideal family? And when it comes to the home, would you prefer homeschool? Would you prefer sending the children to school? You know what I'm saying? You have to find out these types of things. You know what I mean? You have to. You have to. Like, I will give you the perfect example. I was just having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine. She was like, oh, you know, my boyfriend, he's so sweet and he's so nice. But it's like when I ask him to do little things, he have an attitude. I said, well, just tell me what it is. Like, she's like, oh, you know, if I'm in the room with him and I ask him to go get me some water, he's like, hell, I don't want to get that. That's probably not a man you want to stay with, Mom.
Right.
If you got a problem with want to get you a glass of water, that's probably not the man you want to lay next to.
After he done piped you down, he can't get you a glass of water?
Right.
Nah.
Right.
Nah.
That's probably not the man you want to be with.
Nah.
Oh, and then look, she came behind him, and a lot of women do this. Out of love, she made an excuse. Oh, well, you know, I really shouldn't ask him because I knew she was tired anyway. And we do that a lot in our relationship.
Woo. Talk about it.
For these men. See them for who they are at face value, and you make the choice to move forward with them. If you don't see potential in that man, you understand what I'm saying? I don't think you should have a baby with him. And I think the sister who was just born before me, she was like, you know, I gotta have the presence of a manly man, and that's cool. But I'm one who believe that every man is not masculine. They're not. There's some men who are very sensitive, and I hate to use this word in this expression, but there are a lot of men who are very feminine in a way.
Right.
But that's not a bad thing if they know how to balance it. I think that if a black woman, when I speak, I'm only speaking for black women and African women, not mixed women, not Spanish women.
T. Don't say. Okay.
Women,
yes.
African women. Let me keep going. Let me finish. When an African woman is loved and catered to properly, submission becomes natural. You understand what I'm saying? A man don't have to force you to be submissive. If a man is forcing you to be submissive, this is probably not someone you want to be with. You understand what I'm saying? And if a woman is not allowing herself to be submissive, then that's probably not the woman you want to be with.
Fact. So it goes both ways.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And with a woman being submissive, the man must be obedient to his role in the household. You understand what I'm saying? Because submission is just not going to come because he's paying the bills. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
There's other things that go into that a woman will feel comfortable with being submissive. Me in particular, if I don't trust you with my life, I cannot be submissive to you.
Right.
I can't. So for me, it would have to take me trusting you with my life. And I mean on every aspect, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, economically, socially. I want to trust you.
So let me just take this.
If I can't do that, then I can't move forward.
Let me take this statement by my niece right quick. My niece is in the room. Shout out to Marlene. Urban Rich. That's my niece. That's my niece right there. Love her to death. She said men lie. I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna take on that sentiment right there. Here's the thing about it. People can lie with their words, but their actions can't lie. Their actions cannot lie. People can tell you whatever lie they want out their mouth, but eventually they will show who they are. They will show their character. So someone can say whatever they want and put on a type of act they want, but eventually you're gonna see them for who they are. And that's why I think my sister said that you shouldn't. My sister T said you shouldn't be sleeping with somebody so quick because you haven't found out who this person is yet. So throughout time, you asking the right questions, having the right conversations, you will see this person's flaws. You will see their true mentality and how they feel. And it could be a Freudian slip. It could be something simple where you be like, damn, that's how you feel about something? Like that's how you feel? It could be something very, very simple. Matter of fact, here's a thing that women miss out all the time. when men are having conversations with other men. And you know him, you pillow talk with him. You need to listen, because if he lying to him about something, you best believe he's gonna be lying to you about something. And people say things like, well, everybody don't need to know my business. If somebody asks me a personal question that I don't feel comfortable asking, I'll tell you that's none of your goddamn business. But I'm not gonna lie about it. So what I'm trying to say is, listen when your man speaks, not only to you, but to other people, how he deal with other people. If he's skimming his homeboy for money, then he gonna skim you one day. You know what I'm saying? It's rules to this. You have to really absorb the person's character, not just how good they throw the dick or how wet the pussy get. And that goes on both atmospheres.
Yes, and for the ladies who may have dealt with a guy who lied, just found out that they weren't who they pretended to be. 80% of it is them. The other 20% is you.
Right.
So you didn't do something on your end. You didn't pay attention to the signs, like you said. Eventually, a person is going to show who they are, so you will be even more foolish to stay. See, a lot of times, a man has shown you who he is, but because we wanted the potential in them, we ignore it and stay, and then be mad 30 years later.
Right.
That they made the choice to stay, so stay.
And that goes both ways too. That goes both ways. Anything you want to say to the people before you get up out of here, T?
No, I just love y'all. I love you, Brotherhood for always being the one to connect with people and have these type of conversations. I wanted to speak a little bit on the R. Kelly thing and how we do and handle pedophilia within the community. But that's going to take a little bit more time. So we'll talk about that.
I actually, when I end this, I might go live on Instagram so we can build there. I'm trying to get everybody to come more to YouTube. You get what I'm saying? But I might go live on Instagram right after this, because Instagram is a lot more clear. I have more control. I'm trying to get this YouTube thing now. Pat family, please forgive me, because everybody's like, you need to start saving the lives, man. You be having some good lives, and I can't save it on Instagram Live only for 24 hours. So work with me, bear with me. We're gonna get a good show. You know, it's gonna get down pat. I'm trying to make it free. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be up here charging people. Because this stuff do cost. I'm being real. It does cost. Y'all want to joke? I'm using a cell phone to take calls right now, because you know what? I couldn't find a free app so people can call in. So I'm here using a cell phone taking calls. So I'm trying to do everything free so I won't have to charge the people, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? So bear with me with the static and whatever. We're gonna get through it. You see, I got a little cell phone here taking the calls. We're gonna get through it, man. We're gonna work it out. All right. And I appreciate everybody for calling up. Anything else you want to get Instagram out?
Yes. You guys can follow me on Instagram, @BlackReal5. And come over and get this knowledge. I am forever a master student of Brother Hassan. He is my teacher, my mentor, and my brother. It's time that we support real leaders and get behind people who really want to liberate the people. And that's not only just talking it and throwing up names, but that's also living it. So Black people, I love you. I support you. It's time to get back to the reconnect. And for those who is going through a difficult time in their relationship, either let go or be dragged. Don't let nobody half love you. You deserve the best. And I love all my beautiful Black women, and I love all my beautiful Black men, and all of the Black children throughout the world. And that's about it. I just love y'all. Thank you for taking out the time to hear me. Please go over to Instagram, follow my page. Also, make sure that you follow Brother Hassan. Use his hashtag, share his videos. Invite your family, invite your friends, because it's good information. It can be applied to your life, and you'll see results. Definitely.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. I appreciate the call.
I love you.
I love you too, sis.
Bye-bye.
I'm sure you're going to talk to me later, please. Oh, man. Sister Black for some trip, man. I know she's going to jump on me later. Definitely family, man. I'm trying to keep everything free. So that's why I'm using the phone to have people call up, and put you on speakerphone and do the chat. Because to have people call up on the computer, they want something. They want to charge you $5 a month, $10 a month. To have certain call-in apps. Goddamn, nothing is free nowadays, and I'm trying to keep it free. I don't want to charge the people for the information. I want, you know what I'm saying? Although our people should get paid for doing this, right? Because we pay these phony ass teachers to miseducate our children, right? So I do believe that people should make some form of, living from re-educating our people. I do believe that, but I just feel like I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? I really don't need. I'm not rich, but I'm just trying to make it free. I'm trying to make it free as possible. But if one day, I do might say, hey man, come, let's go to this or whatever. It is what it is. I'm just trying to be free. I don't want. One thing I'm scared of is somebody throwing my name behind fraud. Don't throw my name behind no fraud, man. Don't throw my name behind no scammer. Like that's why I'm like, I'd rather take the free route. Even if it's a little janky. Forgive me for the static. Even if it's a little, whatever. So everybody hit the like button or laugh button or whatever button makes the page. Share this link. And what else? We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. This was a very successful live. I believe a lot of good information was shared. Solutions would be obviously listening more, right, to solutions to our problems instead of becoming so defensive. Because a lot of times when we bring information to the community, it's already met with a defensive mechanism. People are already turning off the information. They don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And something I've always said is that you can't spell ignorance without first spelling ignore. So when you ignore some information, you're being complicit in your own ignorance. So you cannot spell ignorance without first spelling ignore. When someone provides you with information and you want to block it out and have level of cognitive dissonance because you don't want to hear the information, then you're being complicit in your own ignorance. So, that's my whole thing. I might have time for one more call. I'm trying to do like 15 more minutes up here to make it an hour and 30 minutes. Does anybody else want to call up before we get up out of here? Got a little cell phone going, as long as y'all can hear the people, that's all that matters to me. As long as y'all can hear them, they coming in clear. That's all that matters, man. And it's free, and we doing this for free. We providing information for free. Although again, I'm gonna state that I do believe some people should be making money for doing this, because some people travel. Like I have a lot of people who want me to do lectures. They're like, oh, Brother Hassan, can you come to Minnesota? I'm like, yeah, sure. Can you at least take care of the flight? I mean, I'll come there. I'll feed myself. I might even get me my own Airbnb, but at least can you take care of the flight? So people want you to come to this city, but for some reason, our people just, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes people want to support and don't want to support lucratively. So, for me, I try to make it as free as possible. So when I do my little, small lectures, when I do my little pop-up events, I try to do it for free, because I love my family for free. I love y'all for free. So got a chance for one more call. If anybody want to call up, the phone number is 305-928-6583. Again, the phone number is 305-928-6583. DJ Brother Hassan on the microphone. Okay. Would you ever have a lecture? Listen, let me show you something right quick. I've been trying to put together a lecture in Miami. And these people don't play about their prices. Okay, let me show you how much they try to wax me. Do I still have the email? Yes, I do have the email right here. Let me show you how much they try to wax you in the head. And I've been putting up posts. I've been saying, hey man, if you got a church or any institution, a building that I can use, let me know. I've reached out to several people. Obviously the church don't want me there. I reached out to several people, And they're like, oh yeah, you know, you need to run around. You know how we do sometimes. Black folk, we need to run around for fun. So I was looking at one of the places I was looking at that I got an email back from was the Little Haiti Cultural Center. And so I don't know if I can see the prices. Okay. Yeah, so $128, right? And then every hour after that, it's a $50 surcharge, right? So $128. On top of that, every hour after that, excuse me, the $128 would be to secure the venue, and then $50 after that. And then I have to pay a Miami Beach police, a city of Miami police officer, $41 an hour to be there at the venue. Okay. And then I would have to pay what is this? What was it again? Rental supervisor to be there. That's $36 an hour. So sometimes when we say things like, man, these niggas out here scamming, they charging you for recycled information. Yo, this stuff is not cheap. This stuff is not cheap. A lot of this stuff costs money. We just can't even, but this is why it's important for us also too, as a community, to have our own institutions where we don't have to go to these centers that's governmentally owned. This is why it's important for us to buy abandoned buildings and do these type of things. You know, I've been very, very, you know, weary in asking people for money to do certain things. Like it's certain, like I see abandoned buildings that I want to get and I want to, but I just don't want to ask people because there've been so many accusations of scamming within the community. I'm like, yo, let me just stay in my lane. And if the opportunity presents itself, then I'll go ahead and do something on that end. But I don't feel right asking people for money just for the amount of people who have been accused of scamming. And I don't want my name thrown in that hat at all. I'm not saying I'm the realest dude in the world, but I'm too real for that. For anybody to ever call me a scammer. For anybody to ever call me a scammer. So, yeah, man, I'm trying to get some things working in Miami, man. But then a lot of people in Miami really don't care anyway. A lot of people in Miami just, you know, living life day to day, you know, and they just not really interested in the information. They're not interested in it. They don't care about it. They don't see how, you know, this can be beneficial to them. You know, one thing I always said is that if you want to get Black people interested in information, there's three things you have to present to them. Number one is, how does this affect me? How can I benefit from this? And how can I make some money from this? Those are the three things that you got to get Black people to understand. How does this affect me? Right? How does this affect their everyday life? How can they benefit from this? And how can they make some money? If you ain't talking about them things with Black people, they ain't trying to hear it. That's a fact. The ones who have not been, you know, re-socialized to be African minded, they don't care. You can talk all about their ancestors, man. You know, we was hung from trees, we was this, we was that. They're gonna look at you like, how does this affect me? And you can be like, man, we need to, you know, do this and do that. They're like, how can I make some money from that? That's it. That's it. So with that being said, family, I thank y'all for joining me. If you've been riding out since the beginning, been watching this live since the beginning, I F with you. Shout out to my niece. She has her own business. She is a mother of three who has her own business. The Urban Rich. She does have an Instagram. Don't know her Instagram name as of yet right now, but I do. She does have an Instagram. So shout out to her. Go follow her YouTube page, and I can see if I find her Instagram. I'll tag her in something. So with that being said, family, I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I love y'all. I do this from the heart. Apologies again for being late. I had to put my kids to bed. So, you know, daddy duties come first. So I was about 30 minutes late. Had to keep the kids put to bed. Until next time, family, think Black, stay Black, love Black, support Black, and that's real African Black power.